A perfect example of 5 pieces that I've turned at different states, and they are still fine regardless of the shape they take. Like I said, that rule only does not apply if I was making a lidded box or a 2-piece unit that had to rely on maintaining its natural form, its form that you initially turn it on, because one part fits into the other, especially when you're mixing woods, because one will shrink different from the other. So there it is, old turned green follow-up, and what becomes of it after the fact. Don't be afraid to turn green. Green is your friend. It makes a lot easier, especially if you're a new turner. If you're a new turner and you're struggling and you have this mentality or this belief because you've heard different people, don't turn green, only turn dry stuff, or let it dry, or dry it, cut it rough and put it into a bag and then turn it on, turn it back on the lathe after 6 months, 8 months, whatever. I've never done that. But when you turn that back on the lathe, the turning is going to be completely different than it was when you first turned it green, because green is a nice cut, buttery, easy to achieve the designs you want. Once it's dry, it's sawdust, very hard to turn. So you might want to consider doing some turnings that you will be willing to allow it to develop after it's turned. And don't be so stuck on like, oh my God, I wanted this thing to be a perfect top. If that's what you want, by all means, turn away as dry as you can. But if you don't mind the wood developing a little bit, turn green. Well, thanks for watching. This is a short video as promised, and it's basically just a follow-up of the green woods turning and my startup of my stickers. And if you have stickers and you want to send them to me, if I like you, and you want to send them to me, I will proudly display them and maybe discuss each one individually and give a link to your channel. Guys, everybody that watches my channel and that comments on it apparently has a passion for wood turning. And if they have a channel, do the honors. Go check them out. Some amazing wood turners that comment on my channel that I wish I had as much talent as they did. But each one of us has our own identity, I hope, and our own style of doing things. And what I teach is not necessarily the way that it has to be done. It's only my way that I do things. And different people can look at it very different and have different approaches and different beliefs. And that's what makes the wood turning community what it is. A great place for people to share their passion and show their methods on how they achieve stuff. So don't be afraid. Watch everybody's wood channels, wood turning, and take the little bits that you find from each one that interest you or you think that might make more sense. And that's what it is. I mean, I don't think any of us can read your style or your, well, you establish your own style. Nobody's style should be yours. But I'll use a reference. Me, I watch a lot of wood turning channels. At first, strictly for learning, and then support. But when I first started wood turning, I was watching Mike Walt, I was watching Stephen Ogle, I was watching Carl Jacobson, I was watching As Wood Turns, I was watching everybody that I could think of. If they did wood turning, I'd be watching. And I would take little bits from each one. And one of them, probably the most influential on me, and what almost got me to the area that I am today, is probably Robbie the Wood Turner. Now, he inspired me a great deal and developed my style in somewhat. It's not that I copied his style, but me trying to achieve some of the pieces, not a copy, but trying to achieve the look of some of the pieces that he was getting and experimenting me, brought me to my style of natural edge per se, especially on vases. And what I was trying to do was kind of, wow, how did he go about this? And I would come out here and try to see if I remembered and put it up on a lathe, and I came up with something that was completely different but had its own style. And with that style, I think it became a little bit of me, because that's how I am, and I kind of focused on that, and I've developed from that. But Robbie the Wood Turner was probably the one that I took the most influence from. Now, learning tools was probably my qualt. You know, his approaches to wood turning for beginners. If you haven't seen that, go see him, and he'll go through the skew, he'll go through the bull gouge, he'll go through different tools on his approach. Now, with that said, does not mean that you watch him, or you watch me, or you watch Stephen, or you watch whoever you watch, and you say, oh, now I know how it's done. No, the real practice becomes on the lathe, because I would watch, I would come over here, and I would still make mistakes after mistake. So you learn more with your mistakes than you learn by watching, I think. Watching is just a guide, and if you remember some of those things that are being said, when you get to the lathe, you're still gonna have to find your own stance and how you stand, and understanding the relationship between the wood and your tool, because that's what it is. It's a relationship that gets established between you, your tool, and your tool with the wood. And when you make that contact, it should be a perfect mating of those two units coming together and doing what you envision and what you perceive. So, probably way too much for most of us, but then again, it's me. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you again with another turning. See you later. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button and comment. And if you like it, hit that share button and share with your friends. Maybe they like it too. Take care. We'll see you again.